In this class we will learn how to create a project in AutoCAD Plant 3D 2016, which is the starting point for us to work on this program. Let's get started. With the program already open, on the welcome screen we click to create a new project, and the window to inform the basic data is opened. First we must define the project name, and see that Plant 3D names the project numerically, automatically. However, we can choose another more suitable name. In our case we will call it Project Render. A description of the project can also be entered, which is optional, and can be useful to explain to people who do not know what the project is about and what its purpose is. We can still create our project in Autodesk's Vault system. This system manages and tracks data creation, simulation, and documentation processes for design, engineering, and construction teams. But we will not use it in this course. By clicking on the indicated location, we can choose the directory where the project will be saved. By clicking on the box shown, we can copy settings from an existing project. The file to select must have XML extension. All projects Plant 3D creates have a file named Project with XML extension. We proceed to the next screen where we must specify the project units. By selecting the option shown, we will have all units in inches. By selecting this other option, we will have most units in millimeters. And we still have the option to choose whether the diameters will also be in millimeters, or whether they will be in inches. Steel pipes usually have their diameters expressed in inches. Moving on to the next screen, we specify the settings of P and ID, which is the acronym for a diagram widely used in industrial processes, which displays the pipelines of a given process. 4 symbology options are available, starting with PIP, which is the symbology of industrial process practices. ISO, which is the symbology of the International Standardization Organization. DIN, which is the symbology of the German Institute of Normalization. And finally the JIS ISO symbology, adopted by the Japanese industry. If we select on the previous screen the option Imperial, only PIP and ISO symbologies will be available. The ISO symbology is adopted by the International Automation Society. Regardless of the symbology option chosen, all symbols will be drawn with the previously chosen units. By clicking forward, we arrive at the screen where we specify the directories where parts of the project will be saved, such as the DWG model, spec sheets, spelling outputs and other supporting files, such as Word files. Advancing this step, we get to the screen where we set up the project database. AutoCAD Plant 3D includes a local SQLite database, which does not require configuration. If we are working with multiple users simultaneously on the project, we can use a database on an external server, which requires some settings, which will not be detailed in this course. Advancing this step, we come to the final screen, where we are told that the project creation wizard has already collected enough information to create the project. By clicking on the option shown, we can edit additional project settings after it has been created. See the open box, which allows us to edit additional information about the project created, such as name, description, and number. We can also provide project data such as address, city, among others. And customer information, like company name. We can also add a category, for example, designer data, and add lines to that characteristic, such as name and other data. By clicking Apply and then on OK, we save this additional information in the project. If we leave the box unchecked, the project is created without editing the additional settings. And if we want to see or edit the project settings, we can open its settings by right-clicking on the project name and selecting Properties. Much still can be explored from the additional settings of AutoCAD Plant 3D, and we leave this task to you, to explore in No Other Options Off Settings. We finished this lesson, where we learned how to create a project in AutoCAD Plant 3D and saw how to change additional settings after the created project.